Hello, this is Professor Kim Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at FIT, doing another tutorial for Rhino. This tutorial is another tutorial focusing on doing detailed ring maquettes. This is going to handle a different ring design than I handled in the previous tutorial and take it through the same processes, the same steps. So, first thing I need to do is go into the top viewport, picture frame, an image in of my design. Shift key, drag left to right, bring it in. Object properties, select it, go to materials, slide transparency up to 90%, more or less. And we're good to go. I need to center it. Also need to pick a layer for it. I don't want to use my magenta layer. I usually like to put my picture frames on a layer I don't like to use much for modeling. And that chocolate brown is a layer I'm not that fond of. Need to bring it in, center it up, and make it actual size. To do that, I need to draw the front view of my ring. So, draw my ring bore, 17 millimeters. Offset my ring for the classic 2 millimeter offset. Move it up 0.3 to create a typical profile. Quad snap projected onto the C-plane to draw brackets showing me the overall width, both sides, and then mirror. And then a straight horizontal across construction line that I can use to snap to. I can turn off my my front view now. So, with this information, I can now center up and scale my sketch. So, I'm going to draw a box around my drawing, catching on 2 points that are consistent for me, the bottom edge here and the right hand side. The corner where those two intersect, which is right here, I'm going to use as the origin point for my non-uniform scale to scale that box and snap to accurately fit my drawing. And then select both the picture frame and the rectangle to move them into the center of the drawing of the C-plane. So center snap, grabbing the center of that rectangle I just created to 0. And then select them both again and do a regular 3D scale, starting once again at center, coming out and grabbing the intersection of the box and that horizontal construction line and the width bracket and that horizontal construction line. I don't need that anymore. And I can lock the layer that has my image on it. I need to bring in an oval stone, so File, Import, go to where that is kept. I just need the stone. I'm going to scale and rotate that stone to be appropriate, so rotate 0 and then just 90 degrees or shift click and shift click. I had copy equals yes selected, so that didn't give me what I wanted. Do it again with copy equals no. Shift. There we go. Need to scale this to be the proper size for my drawing. Once again, I'll do a 3D scale, starting at 0, and then just by eye, capture the width. That will keep the dimensions of the depth proportion correct. And then do non-uniform scale to adjust the length here. Nothing changes here, so 1, by eye, drag it up here, click 2, Z is 0, so that's fine. Going to move that into position. Now in this case, I actually do have a front view that I can work from. So I am going to place that front view in my drawing also. So turn off the stone, turn off this for a minute. Go into the front viewport, picture frame, same steps. Object properties, materials, transparency 90%. And once again, I need to orient it and make it the right place and size. Use the same steps. Rectangle. Capture two edges. Scale the box non-uniform. Using this lower corner as the origin point. Match. Match. Select both the rectangle and the image. Move it using center snap to 0. Turn on my front view. It's a little bit trickier here because I do have a horizontal that goes all the way across. But I don't have a good width bracket here on the front view C-plane, so I'll draw that now. Just grab the outside quadrant, both sides, shift key to make it straight, mirror over. And now I can non-uniform scale, or actually just 3D scale, I should say. Regular scale, starting at 0. Intersect object snap for the box and the width bracket. I can now delete the width bracket, delete the box, bring in my drawing, and I'm just going to move this picture frame straight up with shift key. Until it more or less intersects. Now, one of the things I'm going to see is that the designer who drew this obviously wasn't interested in my minimum shank thicknesses and what have you. So they've drawn a much more delicate sort of ring than what I'm going to want to make. And that's okay. I just have to be aware of that fact. I'm going to move my stone up in position now, where it'll make sense that these could actually be grappling the stone. Now, I would have a disagreement with the designer as to why he's doing that, and I would actually lift the stone up a little bit higher than that and actually set it up in prong. Going to put this on a storage layer as well. I don't want to use the same dark brown, so I'll put it on the blue, and I'll show you why. The beautiful thing about a picture frames is that they show in all the viewports. So this can start to get hairy with this showing up there and all over the place. Okay? So for now, I'm going to turn off the dark brown one and just work with this one. I want to create a bowl that represents this basket. I don't want it to come all the way to the middle because I'm going to revolve it, and if it comes all the way to the middle, it's going to cause problems for me. So I'll go to about there. Fill it.